So hello YouTubers, my name is Jennifer and this is JLP Services Inc. YouTube channel, and I had a request on how to make a knife. This is actually going to discuss preforms, what a preform is and how it actually works. So a preform is basically the shape of the raw material before you actually make the knife. So when I was coming up, the books that I had read were older books, and they had always said that you will forge to your basic dimensions. The finished product will be those finished dimensions, and you shouldn't do any striking on the knife's edge. That basically you do your preform, you forge it out. When you forge it out, you will end up exactly at the blade width and thickness that you need. This all starts with the preform. So a lot of people will say, oh, well, I'm just going to do a correction. That I can actually take this metal, whatever it is, be a rectangular bar or whatever, and forge it out, and then I can just take it to the grinder and grind the bevels in, or I can forge the bevels in, so basically, or forge the tip in. So once the blade is laid out, you will see them do corrections. So those corrections are actually on the edge or on the tip where they're actually flattening the blade itself to get that width they're looking for. A preform actually takes that into account, and you are actually creating the material you need before you even get that far along. So you're starting out with the material you need, and through forging it properly, you end up with the material exactly where it belongs. So that's actually what a preform does, and it actually saves a lot of steps finishing. So anyways, any questions, hit me up. Otherwise, Facebook, Instagram, and welcome. There. So what we're actually doing now is the preform. So this is actually what this blade is going to start out with. And then when we go to forge the bevel in, all of the sizes and shapes will come into light. Pretty good. I come in here. Right there is pretty good. So because we're doing a preform, usually I would cut it off so there we would actually get our tip starting to be formed with it. But since, again, this is what shape of a preform, and doing the tip, we're actually going to do it, I'm actually going to cut it off straight and then forge the tip. And we're looking for an overall length of the blade right around, I don't know, 7 inches or so. 7 inches, 6 inches, 6.5, 7 inches is fine. So we're going to cut that off. Switch sides now. We're actually going to use the handle part now to actually hold it to do the blade. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this top corner in. Get rid of it. Next thing I'm going to do is take the bottom corner, pull that in and get rid of it. I'm going to do the same thing again on the top corner. Get rid of it. I'm going to do the same thing again on the bottom corner. Get rid of it. Same thing again. Get rid of it. Same thing again. One more time. Get rid of it. Now I'm going to come in and flatten it right down. This is the knife blade that is hidden inside of it. So you can see we gained some mass. We don't have any culture on the end of our tip of our knife. We've got plenty of blade thickness here to go through. We're going to do what we're going to do next. So I started forging my tip in. Okay, so you can see now I'm starting to get the taper. Taper started. Back a little bit further now. Okay, so you can see that we've tapered and we've tapered. So again, this is the cutting edge, this is the spine. So now we're getting our taper the full length. Okay, go back to the tip. Get that cleaned up some. Pull it back. In and out more. There we go. Okay. One more heat should do it. So you can see the taper, full taper now. Okay, so I'm not going to do much cleaning up. What I am going to do is actually just refine this preform a little bit. I'm going to give it a little bit more taper down on the tip. Come back in, bring it to it down just a little bit more. Get it out there. Okay, I'll come back here and give it just a bit of a smoothing. That taper even and consistent. And this is the Preform. You can see how the blade naturally started to drop down, creating that curve. Back in, give it a second shot. Okay, I'm going to want to get rid of some more material here, right here. So because I'm making this kind of fancy, there's going to be a couple of steps in here that you may not see that are being done in the vise. So the first one is I'm going to come in here, and I'm actually going to thin out right behind the handle if I can. Right there, I'm actually going to do it over the horn. With a round face hammer. Nail to the thickness we want for the handle portion, like so. Good. Okay. From the vise, I just pulled this down some. So again, the vise, I just pulled that in a little bit more, like so. I'm going to peen this and pull it down just a little bit. Just like so. I'm going to put it in the vise one more time. Pull it out one more time. Just like so. So one more time, we're actually going to lose some of this material that we've got in the handle now. We're going to thin it out some and change the profile. Get it to where we can put some scales on it, look nice. Feel good in the hand. So now we can look at starting to get rid of that little extra length. Here's our handle. And take just one more little bit of it. Okay, so now we're down just under 1/4 of an inch, and I think I'm going to go just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. One more little adjustment. Okay, so here is our preform so far, and our handle shape is nearly where I want it to be. Nice, pretty graceful, a little bit of a finger loop. Not too big, not too low, not too bad. I take and get rid of that little bump right there. Good. That back down a little bit. That's pretty good. Overall thickness on the handle is pretty even, pretty decent. About 3/16 of an inch thick. Yep, just about 3/16 inch thick. Pretty good, good strength in it. Pretty happy with the overall shape. It's a little bit long right now, but I don't care. Okay, so now here we have our blade. This is nearly the complete preform at this point. So this is pretty much the blade shape. So what we're going to do now is we're going to come back in, and right about here, we're going to start pulling this blade out. We're going to do the same thing on this side again, that we're going to actually pull this out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start here, pull this down a little bit. So I'm actually going to pull this out. Then what we're going to do is we're going to come to here. Well, actually, I'm going to thin this down a little bit before we get that far. What we're going to do then, well, actually, I'll just do it. So for this particular blade, we still have too much mass, or too much thickness in the taper. So what I'm doing is I'm actually going to taper it down again, going all the way to the tip. You can see the taper is actually happening down the blade. So we're actually thinning out the spine and the blade together. Okay, so I have to take one more thinning over here. You can see now that our, well, one more heat. There we go, that's better. That's better. So we're pretty straight through here, and then we get a taper. Now for this particular knife, I don't want the blade that long. Alright? Or do I? Yeah, that works. That works pretty nicely, actually. So, okay, so I'm going to leave it that long. So this is our preform. So we're looking for an overall blade width of about 1.5 inches. You can see now we're just actually, well, actually we're going to just a little bit more than that. Well, I guess I gotta thin it a little bit more. Okay, so because we're gaining so much length, I'm actually going to take the tip off. Get rid of that little burr that was there. Okay, so there we go. Now we're looking better. Okay, finally. So there is our taper all the way. Here is our blade taper all the way. This is the preform for what you're about to see. Start pulling this back around towards me. Just like so. Keep it right where it belongs, and pull that pin back around towards me. There we go. One more time. Good, so you can see it's completely in the middle of the blade. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bend it downwards some. The amount I bend it is the amount of bend that I want at the end of it, when I get to the very end. So this right now is actually the bend that, if I do everything correctly, will bring the blade exactly where it belongs when I'm finished. Just a little bit more right here. Okay, so this is the complete preform as it is now. So the reason why this isn't bent to begin with is because then you can't get into here. So now that I bend it, it actually would raise up this aspect. Makes it harder to get in there as the blade tilts. Okay, here comes the money. One more cleanup should do it. Knock this down just a little bit. Bounce the back. One more. Go. There's our 1.5, right on the money. Check for alignment. There. No more heat now to get rid of the booger there, and we'll be all set. Okay, one more heat. So there you have it. That is the Preform. So you can see not once did I do any correction on the blade. Ideally, or as it was explained to me from all the reading I used to do, that is ideal, that you're literally forging it to finish, to shape. Mind you, there's a little bit of file work to do, of course. But otherwise, that is a completed blade. So thank you very much for coming and watching, and if you guys have any comments or suggestions, please post them up. Otherwise, there you have it, a Preform.